we just flap our wings for a few seconds and then we die. So we cannot afford to split ourselves everywhere. So we want to know Shreya, the ultimate benefit, plus the essence, Sar, la crème de la crème. So why the Lord came? Uh, why did he take birth? Very interesting to note, I was reading today, Jiva Goswami explained very nicely here. It's a verse not from Bhagavatam, from Mahabharata actually. To chapi, to means two. So Jiva Goswami explained that, as we know, Vasudeva and Sankarshan, when we say Sankarshan, we mean Balaram. But Sankarshan is another name of Lord Balaram. So Vasudeva and Sankarshan came respectively from the wombs of Devaki and Rohini. This we know. But what we don't know, at least I didn't know, I don't know about you, that even Krishna and Balaram came, the original Krishna and Balaram came from Vasudeva and Sankarshan. You know, and they entered also the womb of Devaki and Rohini. So what happened is Jiva Goswami explained very nicely in his Satsandarbha that within the womb of Devaki, Vasudeva and Krishna joined together to become a single Krishna. And within Rohini's womb, Sankarshan and Balaram joined to become a single Balaram. That's why Rohini is called Rohini Nandan. Balaram, sorry, is called Rohini Nandan, is the son, the Nandan of Rohini. So this is a Mahabharata shlok. Api, chapi, to, chapi means the joining of Krishna Vasudeva. They join in the womb of Devaki, and Balaram Sankarshan join also. So in other words, Lord Krishna sent his immediate Vishnu Tattva expansions into the material world before he personally came. As we know, he came originally, also he came in the womb of Yashoda. So when he personally came, he and his Vishnu Tattva form became united into a single form. So this is an interesting twist. And of course, Jiva Goswami gives the Praman, Ayoriko Balabhadra Bahuba. The two of them became one Balaram. So this is very interesting. So that's the third question, why Krishna came from the womb. Then the fourth question, tell us about the Purush avatar. And the fifth question, tell us about the Lila avatar. And then the sixth question, tell us about what happened to Dharma when Lord Krishna left the world. What is that verse that answers this question? Everyone knows, perhaps, why, what happened to the Dharma? When Krishna left, Krishna Svadamupagate Damagyandi Bihisaha Kalunashtadrishanisha Puranakudunoditaha. This is 1:43. So it's mentioned there by Sutta that Krishna Svadamupagate. Krishna went back to the Dham, Golok Dham, and he took away with him all the qualities. Titiksha, Karunika, Dharma, Samudamashta Pashuchan, everything is gone. All the qualities of goodness are gone with him. So we are doomed. No. Purana Duno Ditaha. This Puran Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to Ark. Ark means the sun. He has appeared like the sun. Puranako Duno Ditaha. Udiro Aruna Purat Bhage. Vijamani Go Amani Jage. So Udira means take birth. It appears. Udiro. So Puranako Duno Ditaha. It has appeared to dispel the vision of those who have been blinded by the darkness of Kali. So we cannot despair, even though Krishna is gone, but still Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. So what else you want to say? What else you want to say in regard to discuss with last time? Should we split ourselves worshipping all kinds of Ishtadev? What do you think? Should we divert our mind worshipping so many different personalities?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, so I believe that at this stage, I don't. My focus is strictly on Krishna and
Yes.
his avatars.
Very good. So this is corroborated in 22. Ata. You see a verse starting with Ata, it's a conclusive verse. Ata means therefore. Ata vekavayo nityam bhaktim paramayam mudha. Mudha means delighted. So Vasudev Bhagavati Kuvantyatma Prasadamim. Since time immemorial, we have discussed the devotees worship Krishna. They don't bother to splay themselves everywhere. There's no need. Yeah, what is that verse of watering the roots of the tree? Yatotolo muram nishetchanina triplantitat bajapu upashakaha skondo upashakaha. We don't bother to. We don't disrespect, of course not, but we water the roots at the base of the tree. With at the roots of the tree, so automatically all the twigs and leaves and stuff will benefit, will be nourished. We nourish the stomach. Stomach will distribute the energy all over the body. That's the job of the stomach, to convert the foodstuff into proteins and energy, nutriments. So that's basically this section of Bhagavatam, the second chapter. Definitely, worship him. For those who are serious, who want Shriyam Sita Trakalu, we discussed in 23. Shriyam Sita Trakalu, remember? Shreya means long-term benefit. Prayer, short-term benefit. People are into prayer those days. They want immediate pleasure, immediate benefit. Little do they know that they won't take that into the next world. Shriyam Sita Trakalu, 23. Kalu means, of course, it's going to last. Nera Vikram Nashatusti Pratyavayana Vidyate, Krishna says in 214. You don't lose out, even if you slacken or slow down or even stop. You shouldn't stop. But for the sake of argument, if you stop, you will start off from wherever you left off. You follow? So that's why you should tackle yourself. You should make it a point to endeavor for what's worthy. Don't endeavor for broken pieces of glass. Why divert our mind to sense gratification or anything independence of Krishna Seva? So we discussed in 23 Remember, there's a verb, date. Date means to accept. In 23, what's happening in 23? What is Sutta Goswami telling us in 23? Is the Lord directly connected to this material world? Yes or no?
No.
Does he have a direct connection with this material world, Krishna?
No.
Okay. Everyone has come gradually. So, yeah, so please explain. If Okay, I agree. I hope everyone does. He's not directly connected. So how does he connect himself? How does he, like remote control, we could say? What is his modus operandi? Modus operandi means what is his way of doing things, Krishna? He doesn't connect directly. How does he do it then?
See in verse 6. Yeah, Pranita, you want to explain? Go ahead. Oh, I just wanted to just add in, and you obviously can correct me. So it's the Lord's external energy that's ruling over the material world, and He has delegates like Brahma, and Shiva to carry out the duties of the material world.
Very good.
Okay, Prabhu, I think it's done by Vishnu.
That's why in each verse there's a thrust. In 23, the thrust is date.
Yeah, that means he voluntarily accept different expansion, and whatever he does, it's not that he has to do it. It's by his free will, his sweet desire.
Yeah, he accepts, in other words, just like you are an actor or actress and you play a part. You accept to play the part. You follow? You play the part of Napoleon, Julius Caesar, Cleopatra, whatever. Okay, I accept this role. Okay. Of course, they're getting paid for that, but Krishna accepts to play. So if you understand that, there is no need of worshiping demigods, and you don't have to feel offended if you stop worshiping demigods, because he has accepted to play the part of Indradev. Indradev is, Krishna tells in the Gita, amongst the demigods I am Indradev. So he accepts the play the part, you follow? But you should not disconnect. As soon as you start to disconnect, then you become Binnadrik. Binnadrik means you are a partisan, a separatist. Yes, this is the right word. A separatist. The problem with demigod worship, you separate the demigods from God. That's aparat. That's namaparat. If you, at least Maharaj Bharat in the 5th canto, he was worshipping the demigods as part of the Virat group, universal form. Then he met his end. He came to Bhav Bhakti. Of course, by the medium of Yoga Maya, he became enamored with a small deer. It was organized by internal energy for the sake of teaching us. Anyway, he made it back. Then next life a deer, and then next life again Jagbarat, Mahapurush, the deity of Bhadrakali, came out to destroy the Gundas who wanted to sacrifice him. And he went back to the valley, finished. So, see, the problem with demigod worshippers, and you can pass around the message in Mauritius, they're separated demigods from Krishna. That's Abala. That's Maha. And what is the verse? You tell him 1, 2, 23. Date. He accepts to play the part of his Gunavatars, Brahma, Mahadev, Vishnu. Even Vishnu is still a plenary portion of Krishna. You follow? Vishnu is not the ultimate. He is already Vishnu, he's God himself. But behind Vishnu is Krishna. Even if you want to be technical, let's do it for the sake. If you go, how many Vishnus?
3.
How many Vishnus?
3 Vishnu.
Sorry, Prabhu?
3.
Very good.
3 Vishnu.
Sorry, Prabhu?
3 Vishnu.
Yeah, very good. So Mahavishnu, who is the biggest, the first one, who is he coming from?
Mahavishnu is coming from Shankarshan.
Very good. Lord Shankarshan. And that is the second Chatuvyuha. Okay? You know what is Chatuvyuha? Who is inside the Chatuvyuha?
It's 4 of them.
Vasudev,
Shankarshan,
Anirudh, Pradyumna.
Very good. So this Mahavishnu is coming from the second set of Chatuvyuha. And in that second set, you find Vasudev, Maha Shankarshan. We call him this one Maha Shankarshan. Vasudev, Maha Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Anirudh. Now, where is that second set of Chatuvyuha coming from? It's coming from, they are hovering this Chatuvyuha, quadruple expansion. They are Vishnu Tattva. They are hovering around each Narayan in Vaikuntha. See, each Vaikuntha lok, there is a presiding deity of Lord Narayan on each and every Vaikuntha lok, and hovering around each Narayan deity, you find that second set. Follow? So, in other words, we can say assuredly that the second set is coming from Lord Narayan. Each Lord Narayan presiding on each Vaikuntha lok has a second set of Chatuvyuha hovering around him. So now we have understood the second set of Chatuvyuha is coming from Lord Narayan. Where is Lord Narayan coming from? Who is the Ishtadev of Lord Narayan? Remember, I was telling you the second set. If there is a second set, there must be a first set of Chatuvyuha.
So you mean Narayan is coming from the first set?
Very good. It's called Mul Chatuvyuha. Mul means root. And that is the Mul Chatuvyuha is coming from Dwarka. Follow? We find Krishna in Dwarka, but to be specific, that Krishna is in Dwarka is called Dwarkadish. If you go to ISKCON Los Angeles, the first deity installed on this planet Earth by Prabhupada was Rukmini Dwarkadish. That's the first big size deity. So Rukmini and Dwarkadish are ruling over Dwarkadam. That is the first of this Vasudev, Rukmini Dwarkadish, is the first component of the Mul Chatuvyuha. See? Vasudev, Sankarshan, that is Balaram. And then Pradyumna is the first son of Dwarkadish and Queen Rukmini, the mother queen. And the first son of Pradyumna is Anirudh. So you can see, and then if we go further even, where is that coming from, this Mul Chatuvyuha, this first set of Chatuvyuha? You have to go all the way. This Vasudev of the first Chatuvyuha is coming from Krishna, Yashodananda. See? And this Sankarshan residing in Dwarka, we have seen in Krishna book, is coming from Lord Balaram. You follow? So Lord Balaram and and Lord Krishna, Yashodanandan, they stay in Vrindavan all the time. And when the division is done at Akrur Ghat, is where it happens. So how far we have gone up now compared to the Sri Vishnu, you follow? So that is why, back to 23, Ek ihasya date, Krishna is Ek, is alone. Krishna is always alone. But he has made himself many, Eko Bahushyam, and he accepts to play. Okay, I'll play Gunavatar. I'll play the Purusha Avatar. I'll play this avatar, the Lila avatar. You follow? Nothing is separated from Krishna. Nothing. As soon as you entertain a separation, you're in Maya. Finish. Story is over. So you have to tell the demigod worshippers in Mauritius, don't consider those demigods, they are jivas, by the way. It's separated from Krishna. Otherwise, you put your foot in your mouth, and you're not going to get the expected result. You won't get it. If you offend Krishna, how can you expect to get your ends met? It's not going to work. So, what else did we discuss last time? We discussed a beautiful analogy of the smoke, remember?
Yeah, there was, you explained how the analogy about the smoke. The smoke is superior to wood.
Yeah.
And then fire coming out from the wood is superior to that smoke. So practically the analogy was about the mode of passion and ignorance. Practically the mode of ignorance is compared to the wood, and mode of wood smoke is considered like the mode of passion, and smoke is the announcement of fire. Fire is a mode of goodness. So on the platform of ignorance, if someone is in the mode of ignorance or passion, it's very difficult for them to take a spiritual path. So one need to come to the mode of goodness, and then they can realize, they can have like Brahma Darshan, can open up to spiritual life.
Yes. Thank you. So we have done a good job. And then 25. I think we covered 25, but
yeah, we did.
Basically, again, it's a restatement that we better worship the Supreme with himself, Nirgun. So we worship him to become Nirgun, but Nirgun is just a byproduct. Remember, it's not the all in all. It's not out and out ultimate benefit. The ultimate benefit for Gaudiya is Prem Pumaratu Mahan. So Jiva Goswami explained that all these Vishnu Tattva expansions are like the bodily rays of the Lord. You follow? So just imagine when we say Savan Kavinam Brahma, everything is Brahman, Brahmanohi Pratishtaham. What is Brahman is the effulgence of the Lord's body. And all the rays that constitute the Lord's effulgence are Vishnu Tattva expansion. And where are we, if we carry on this analogy, we are just the tiny little sun particles within the ray. You follow? So how can we claim that we are great? We are just, ontologically, we are tiny little sun particles. We have seen when the sun ray is piercing through your shadows, in the summer, you can see the sun ray piercing through. Did you? Have you seen?
Yeah.
And then you can see there's myriads of sun particles hovering in that sun ray. So imagine you are a Jeev is just a tiny sun particle. The ray itself will be a Vishnu expansion, and Krishna is the full sun. So this is how Jiva Goswami explained. Okay, so I guess 26 now. Yes, we haven't done 26. This is quite a remarkable verse, a bit disconcerting. Mumukshavo Gora Rupan Idva Bhut Patinatha Narayan Kalas Shanta Bhajanti Yana Suyavaha. Interesting verse. You can read.
Those who are serious about liberation are certainly non-envious and they respect all, yet they reject the horrible and ghastly forms of the demigods and worship only the blissful form of Lord Vishnu and his plenary portion. So, this verse Prabhupada emphasizes also explaining the importance of worshipping Lord Vishnu, no matter what. Even if you have your material desires, come to the Lord. The Vishnu has this ability to bless us with certain desires, ultimately purifies us. And however, the demigods cannot do that. They cannot offer liberation to anyone coming to them. So in that sense, the one who worship demigods, they get entangled more and more. It's always like they end up having a business deal with the demigods. You know, you go, you get your material desire satisfied, and then another desire comes up. So, and also demigod worship can only provide temporary blessing that ultimately sometimes that same blessing can turn out to be a curse, can turn out to be self-destructive. Like we can take the example of Hiranyakashipu. Well, Hiranyakashipu, that's a pastime of Shri Krishna, but it's teaching us how asking boons from demigods and demigods just fulfilling them, it in at the end it can turn in a self-destructive desire.
Yeah, that's true. So now in 26, it's quite, I would say, disconcerting. Sutta Goswami is heavy. Even that Gita doesn't announce that. We hear in the Gita, those who worship demigods will be promoted to higher planets. Look at the perspective of Sutta Goswami. Ghastly, horrible form. He's heavy. Why is that? Gora, horrible, ghastly. Even Krishna doesn't speak like that. What's happening here? Is he wrong? Did he lose his temper? He's heavy. And it's a verse of Bhagavatam. This is Nigamaka Patalo Garitam Phalam here. And the topmost fruit in the desired fruit in the Vedic tree, the topmost fruit. This verse is heavy. First of all, Anusuyave. We heard that term Anusuyave. Look at the Sanskrit. Anusuyavaha. Same verse. Anusuyave in the Gita. Remember? What does Krishna say in the Gita? But Anusuyave means non-envious. Shriba Bhagwan Uvach Idamte Guyatamam Pravakshama Anusuyave. I'm going to reveal to you, my dear Arjun, because you're non-envious. That's very important. Anusuyava means non-envious. If you envy Krishna, the story is over. So the demigod worshippers have to be very careful if they are envious of Krishna. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. If you are Mayavadi, you want to merge, you will never merge. Never. Even to merge in Brahman, you have to be positively dealing with Krishna. If you are envious, whatever you.
How do we reconcile that Shishupal was extremely envious of Krishna and day and night offending Krishna, yet when he left his body,
yes. How can anyone can try to reconcile this? There's a verse, 7:131. Narad is speaking to Yudhishthir, and Narad is telling 7:131 the 5 or 6 ways. So there's 6 ways to approach Krishna. Whether it be Pratikul or Anukul, there's 6 ways. What are the 6 ways to approach Krishna? It's a verse. 7:131. You can look it up if you have the base.
Okay, I have it here.
7:131. Very interesting verse. Narad is speaking to Yudhishthir. Gopya Kamad. We know the gopis. What is their line of approach? Come. It's not material come. Be careful. It's spiritual come. That's one. Then Bhayat Kamso. Kamso. What was his mode of approach towards Krishna?
Oh, fear.
Fear. Bhaya. Dveshash. Yes, we're talking about this one now. Shishupal non-tavakra. Dveshat shajodayo. What is the mode of approach? Dveshat. Envy. Next, Sambandhat. Vrishnaya. The Vrishni, they had a relationship with Krishna as a family member. That's authorized. Then Snehat. Narad is speaking to Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir is on the level of Sneha. The Pandav Sneha means it's way beyond the Vrishni. Be careful. They have Sneha. Sneha means part of Prem. There's 12 levels in Prem. Affection. Not sentimental affection. It's love. It's pure love of God. But not only casual pure love of God, it's affection. Just like you have affection for your son, for your cousin, they have affection for Krishna. Krishna is walking in and out of their house like one of them. This is the level of the Pandava. And then Narad is so humble, he says, Yuyam Bhaktya. As far as I'm concerned, I'm just a regular devotee, general devotee. So, in other words, Sutta Goswami is telling here, those who are envious of Krishna, if they worship demigods, they won't get their ends met. In other words, if you are envious, better be envious like Shishupal, because at least he was not worshiping the demigods. You know. So Shishupal, what did he get? He got Brahman, he got Sayujamati. So bare minimum, what you're gonna get with Krishna, you're gonna get Sayujamati. Well, then you carry on dealing with Krishna. Don't turn to demigods, and you get Sayujamati. Whereas, if you are envious of Krishna to the extent that you serve demigods, you do. Look at Vena. Who is King Vena? Remember?
Yeah, he was killed by the Brahmanas.
From him came Ritu and Archie, but he was so rascal and cruel. He used to kill his classmate at school. Extremely cruel person. But he had no respect for Krishna. Nothing. He didn't even acknowledge the presence of Krishna. At least Shishupal acknowledged. Shishupal is cousin brother of Krishna. You follow? It doesn't say Krishna doesn't exist. Vena used to say not even a mention of Krishna in his life. The first word of Shishupal as a baby when he was born from his mother, it was an insult to Krishna. But at least he's insulting Krishna. You follow, so there's some benefit. But Vena, there's nothing. Not even envy, not what to speak of good things. So the idea is we have to be connected to Krishna. Tasmat Kenapyupayana Mane Krishna Niveshayat 7132. Narad is telling one way or the other, you should be connected to Krishna, favorably or even unfavorably. This is the lesson. So here in 26, Sutta is heavy because he's pushing the fact that we should not be carried away by demigod worship. Because the tendency of the demigod worshipper, they separate the demigods from Krishna. And that's where they become basically doomed. What is the Gita saying? 412 or 4, I think 412 is. Quickly, of course, they get their ends met talking about the demigod worshippers. Because they want a quick fix. So demigod will facilitate that, but they are still hovering in the material world. They are called Kamakandiya. And you can rotate for millions of lives, going back to us. Krishna says, Shini Punya Machalukam Mishanti. Once you have used up the merits that owes you to go to the demigod planets, you back to square one. Again, you worship. If you make one mistake, you have to pay the price for that mistake, and you won't get your ends met. But just imagine if you do it right, yes, you're going to be promoted, then Kshini Punya Machala Kamishanti, once you have used up, back to earth. Earth is Mrichulo, Punya Bhumi, Kamakshetra. So again, you worship the demigods. Can you imagine how long it's you can endlessly, you can do that. Unless you come across a Madhyamadikari, Godya, preferably Godya, then it's going to tell you about Krishna. Otherwise, you can rotate. Doesn't mean because you are Kamakandiya that automatically by a magic wand you're going to be moving to the next notch. You're going to come. Not necessarily. You need the intervention of a guru, at least Madhya. So now I've got some questions for you. In 20, we are in 26. I'm trying to find something in 26. Yes, I didn't get a clear answer from you. How do you reconcile the fact that 26 depict the Devatas as horrible and ghastly, whereas in 17:4, Sattva Guni men are advised to worship them? So how a man in a mode of goodness, because it's material goodness, I understand, but still they worship demigods. So why a man in a mode of goodness would be attracted by ghastly, horrible demigods?
So, Prabhu, So from my own personal experience, so I'm basically of Indian origin that was born and brought up in South Africa. So
Okay.
in order to stay true to our roots, us to worship a different demigod on a different day of the week.
Yes.
And basically it kept us in touch with our roots, although we've never been to India and we don't speak the language, but that's how I was brought up in a Hindu home where that was
Yes.
encouraged. So that is why we were Hindu, we knew Krishna, but we didn't know Krishna as ultimate, and we knew that every demigod is as important. So that's the reason why some people do it, because of rituals, because of could say that not the proper knowledge.
Yeah, I'm not trying to find fault with you, Mataji.
No, neither am I. But it's just something that I felt that I felt that I needed to speak to you about.
Yeah,
Or say it. Yeah.
I lived 12 years in India, so I know this tendency.
Yes.
But to stick to the question, why Sutta Goswami is so explicitly heavy in his adjectives, ghastly, horrible. Prabhupada gives a clue in the purport, middle of the purport. What does he say about Kala Bhairav, Mahakali, Bhadrakali?
They have horrible and both horrible features.
Yeah, have you seen Bhadrakali? She's Maharibo. She drinks blood. So, in other words, someone who is serious about spiritual life will reject that. But they have their role to play because, again, Lord Shiv, Mahadev, and Durga, Parvati, she has millions of names. They're going to facilitate those who are in the mode of ignorance, especially boots, ghostly beings, guyakas. And Mahadev is Ashutosh, is so merciful, docile, that he's going to give them a little corner of space so they can at least propitiate him and gradually go up. No one wants to deal with those persons so that he will accept the worship. But unfortunately, you may worship Lord Shiv according to your mentality. If you are a Vaishnav and you pray Lord Shiv, Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu as the greatest Vaishnav, yes, it's bona fide, it's okay. If you worship Katayani, like the gopis, she's a form of Durga, for the sake of getting Krishna as a husband, it's okay because they don't separate, you follow? So if Prabhupada said, if you worship Ganesh, it was one devotee, let me worship Ganesh. Prabhupada say, okay, you give me 1 lakh a day to worship Ganesh. So, as I said, Bharat Maharaj, he reached Bhakti, but that was not Kali Yuga. If you want to do things very properly, like in Puri, you have seen, what is the name of childhood of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur?
Bimala Prasad.
Why does he have this name? Bimal Prasad comes from Bimala Devi. If you go to Puri, to whom they offer the Prasad of Jagannath, to whom first? Bimala Devi. So that's fine. That's totally fine now. If you worship you worship your Shalagram Shila, and then you love demigods. Then the prasad of your Vishnu Shila you offer to your demigods. Then that's the proper process. There's nothing wrong with that. So in other words, to make a long story short, you worship Lord Shiv, you have material desires, you worship demigod worship. But those who are serious in spiritual life, we're talking about that here, serious people, they don't worship demigods. They don't disrespect also. What to speak of a pure devotee? Have you seen the Goswamis, they don't even mention the existence of the demigods. For Goswami, it's a phantasmagoria. Can you imagine? Phantasmagoria means it's non-existent. You know, they don't even. It's not even, and it's not even in their mind. They don't have a dilemma. You know, they are Goswamis of Vrindavan. They have understood the Siddhant, the highest Siddhant. So they worship. Tomorrow is Lord Nityananda. It's the sum total. You have to understand, Lord Nityananda is Samasti Guru, is the embodiment of Guru Tattva. Is Lord Bharanam himself. So even the Guru, there's a verse in the 11th canto, the Guru, the Siddhant Guru, is the sum total of all the demigods. Just like the cow. The 33 million demigods live in the cow. So someone on the level of Gaudiya Acharya, the demigods live in them. You know, sometimes Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to be called upon like a consultant by the demigods themselves. Please come and help us to. We have to make a decision on this particular jiv. This is the level of our acharya. They are coming from Manjari Bhav. So you will never see them even discussing about demigod worship. Demigod worship is a very low level of spiritual life. Gyan. Rita Gyan means mediocre knowledge. So that is why Sutta Goswami is heavy here. It doesn't mean disrespect. And oftentimes, you know, there's a difference. You have to understand the difference between a karma kandi and upasana kandi. What is the difference? And we say karma kand, jnana kand, upasana kand. What is the difference between the karma kandi and upasana kandi? Upasana means to worship. So in karma kand, it's clean-cut business. They hire a priest. Please, I'm marrying my daughter. Please make it very lavish. I want to make sure she's getting a good husband. It's going to work. The marriage is going to work. The person is not so much concerned with that particular deities the priest will propitiate. Whereas in Upasana kand, it's much, much higher than that. The particular practitioner, he has love for that Ishtadev, Hanuman, let's say, or Ganesh. There was a Ganesh worshipper, he came to Puri. He had love for Ganesh, so much love. And when he came to Puri, everyone, all the Puri Basis told him, this is the Lord Jagannath. And in his mind, he was saying, what are they talking about? The Lord is Ganesh. But he had love. See? And then when the king noticed him, and the king understood he's a great Ganesh worshipper. He's not an ordinary soul. This is Upasana kand. He has love for his Ganesh. And the king very mildly told him, this is our Jagannath, the Lord of the universe. And he could see the fellow was somewhat, displeased internally, and he walked away. And Lord Jagannath is in everyone's heart. Next time he came over, Lord Jagannath took the form of Ganesh, just to please him. So this is Upasana kand. They have love for their Ishtadev. That's why the verse is there, Aradhana Savesham Vishnu Anajati Panta. Tasmat Parataram Devik Tadiyanam Samachanam. This is Padma Puran. So in the beginning, you worship demigods, and if you are properly followed or instructed by Guru, then Sutta Goswami is telling us, don't bother. Gradually, you're going to go to Aradhanam Savesham. Or in the beginning, you worship everyone, demigod. Vishnu Aladyate Panta. Now you come to Vishnu. Vishnu Aladyate Panta. And even higher, what is higher than Vishnu worship? Tadiyanam Samarsanam. Tadiya means
the paraphernalia of Krishna devotee.
Krishna explained in 1724 Tadartiyam, same. Tadiya Tadartiyam. We have even higher than Vishnu worship. You worship the paraphernalia, the cushion of Krishna, the bridanga, the what do you call it, the paduka of Krishna, the flute. This is higher. Maharaj Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what did he do to young Raghunath when he went to Vrindavan? He sent him his own how do you say, a stool where you sit, and even his coping. It's higher than Mahaprabhu. All his life, Raghunath Das Goswami worship. He used to worship the how do you say, the stool where Mahaprabhu used to sit as a deity. The coping as a deity. This is Tadiya. It's higher. So you can see Tulasi is Tadiya, devotee is Tadiya, Mad Bhakta Pujabyadika. If you worship a devotee, it's higher than Krishna. Tadiya. So you can see this is the normal progression. Like you people, you coming from Mauritius, South Africa, you have done the right thing. Doesn't matter if you worship the gods, but once you come across Vishnu, then Krishna, then even higher than Krishna is Mad Bhakta Puja Vyadika. That's devotee of Krishna. So that's the progression. That is why here Sutta is a bit heavy, but he wants to put us in God. And don't even waste your time. Okay, so we try to see. This is 26, and we are already in 26. No, there's 18 major Puran, and some Puran
Garuda
are
Puran.
those in the mode of Tamagun, like Shiv Puran, Linga Puran. These are, so if you read those Puran, even sometimes you will see, yes, Lord Shiv is God. Sometimes Lord Shiv is called Bhagwan because he's non-different. You have seen Sadashiv praying to Mahavishnu for 7 centuries, then he merged. Mahavishnu told him what to use, we're non-different. Then it becomes Avitacharya. So it's almost the supreme. So that's why we should not even bother to delve into the other Puran. We don't even have you read Vishnu Puran? Have you read Padma Puran? This is the grace of Prabhupada. We've been given Srimad Bhagavatam different immediately from day one. We don't get, how do you say, splayed out, or we don't get, what's the word, baffled by all the other Purans. People who get into other Purans, they may misconstrue, yes, Indra is God, yes, Brahma is God. So, because that's their mentality, so there's certain Purans for them. Rajasic Puran, then Sadvika Puran. And then within the Puran, you find regular Puran, 5 topics. But we are so fortunate, we are into Mahapuran. 10 topics. It's very rare. What is Mahapuran? Padma Puran is there, Mahapuran. Vishnu Puran. But Bhagavatam is 10 Puran, but the Svashraya Shraya Krishna is more emphasized than anywhere else. So when you read Mahapuran, you cannot get it wrong with Bhagavatam. You understand immediately Krishna is God. speaks of subservient to Svashraya Shura Krishna. So we have by Krishna's grace, Prabhupada's grace, the Siddhams right.
Prabhu, why does these Goswamis change the title of Bhagavad Mahapuran to Srimad Bhagavatam?
This is a good question. You should come to BV Prabhu. So, okay, we're not covering much ground today, but it's okay. So, see, Matsya